Everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Dead Man's Mic. My name is Nick.
Boy, Craig, we here.
Hey, man, we're here and we are just a few weeks away. Just a few weeks away. Like we said, we were going to be pushing these episodes and putting more out for you guys. And before we go into it, I kind of want to say just thank you to everybody who has tapped in with us. We were looking at our analytics the other day, and we have a couple of listeners in Puerto Rico and a couple listeners in the United Kingdom, which is just for us being a brand new podcast.
That's mind blowing,
Talking,
man.
dude, exactly, like talking about
Yeah.
all things HHN, and to have some listeners in that area is just it's humbling and it's exciting, man. It makes us want to keep going. So we definitely appreciate you all. Be sure to continue following. This is going to be a cool episode tonight. Craig, how you feeling, man, about what we got going? You want to tell them about how this is going to roll?
All right, so listen up, y'all. We got this on this episode. We gonna have it's all about the hype list. It's all about the hype list.
It's all
So,
about the hype
so,
list.
so what we're gonna do is that me and Nick both are gonna run down our hype list. It's gonna show up on the screen. We're gonna
Yep.
show you. We're gonna explain to you what our hype lists are. There's gonna be 2 episodes worth of hype lists. This episode is focused on Orlando. The next one's going to focus more on Hollywood. So
Yep.
what we're going to do is share the hype list, run it all down, go into detail, and we're going to see who is going to more so. Um, there's going to be a prize factor in there, and
Mhm.
so we're going to run down the list as I said before, and we're going to get you guys involved in it, and whoever comes close to our list will win the prize.
Yep.
It would be yet to be announced. So I'm
Yep.
ready.
Let's do it, man. We're gonna ask after it's all over, and we'll probably wait until after both episodes are out, and you guys can take your time to listen to them. Compare and contrast Craig and I's hype list. Hit us up in our DM. Let us know what you think about our list. Do our list compare to yours? Is yours more like Craig's? Is it more like mine? Like let's really talk about it and kind of see where everyone's head is before
Mhm.
going into the start of HHN. And basically, whichever house is getting the most votes, as long as there's some merch for it, we are going to pick one lucky listener, and that person will be able to get a T-shirt. So that's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
how we're gonna do it. So let's go right into it, man. Round one, we're gonna start with
Good.
the houses, and then we'll close it off with the scare zones. So round one, my pick, and I've been talking about this. Y'all know this. This is what I'm most hyped for. We have El Artista for me versus Craig's pick, The Horrors of the Wyatt Six.
Mhm.
Craig, tell us why that one was your first pick.
So, you know, as many of you know, I am a big wrestling fan, WWE fan. I um a big fan of Bray Wyatt, God rest his soul, and of the Wyatt Six as well. And so when as well, let me segue into that. Um, as you guys may have known, a couple decades ago, WWE and HHN had a collaboration together in Hollywood with an Undertaker house.
Right.
So this isn't the first time that this has happened. So this second time around, um, there was a concept a few years ago um, that the late great Bray Wyatt has pitched to HHN. That didn't end up working out at the time, cool, but now it's more so came together, especially since Bray's passing. He wasn't able to see everything, see his ideas come to fruition. And so now that his brother has taken up, the mantle of the group, now, there's no better time than the present just to be than to do this. And so, ever since there were rumors um, that have gone around, like I remember seeing the first speculation map when I saw the horrors of WWE on there, I was like, what? Really?
Made you start thinking
Like
about
I
what that
like that
might
made
be.
me like that made me start thinking of ideas, and I was like, oh, the Wyatt Six, and then I just that's honestly when my excitement started to build even more, and then when it was officially announced, and I saw the cover art and the descriptions and stuff like that, and how many of the HHN Orlando team are big wrestling fans, and how they this is their passion project, and the the lead Michael out there that is also a big wrestling fan, and how it's a passion project of his as well. I just like there's so much being put into this house that I've seen, and I'm just so excited to see this. Like the the energy and the excitement is palpable. Like man, I really can't wait for this. I really can't wait
Yeah,
for this. This is what makes this house my most anticipated of the year. Like there are some
absolutely.
firehouses this year. All of them are. But
Man,
if I were to
it
pick
really
one,
is.
but if I were to pick one house, the horrors of the Wyatt Six, even the food booths,
Yeah.
got me hyped. Like I'm ready for it.
I mean, like Craig, for that house, what would be your early prediction? Like, what are you expecting to see when you walk into the horrors of the White Six?
So based off what I've seen, construction updates alike and details. There's going to be a lot of wrestling Easter eggs, a lot of Wyatt Easter eggs that we're gonna catch. I know I'm gonna catch them. Um, there's gonna be a tribute to the late great Bray Wyatt, as I said, his character, the Fiend. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a there's gonna be a tribute to all of Bray Wyatt's personas because at first he was like this voodoo cult leader. I know Nick, you love the voodoo, you love
Yeah, man.
the Bayou. That's what his first
All
persona.
about it.
That's what his first persona was all about. A voodoo
Oh, that's
Bayou
pretty
cult
cool.
leader.
Know that. That's pretty nice.
So you're gonna enjoy that part, and then his second persona, the Fiend, obviously, and then his third persona, which is more him, you know, being himself, and so and introducing like Uncle Howdy and how he's the leader of the Wyatt Six and everything, and so I think all of that's going to be in there, along with um, they were saying that there's going to be a deep dive into the mind of the Wyatt Six and how that's all going to branch into their own ideas and into the different sections of each house. I mean, of each part of the house. I mean, so I'm ready. Bring it on.
Yeah, man. Hey, bring it on, the horrors of the White Six.
Yeah.
My first pick was El Artista, Spanish Haunting. Um, it's pretty simple for me with this one, man. For one, the way that they announced it really pulled me in. If there's a way to announce a house, the way that they did it was perfect. They brought an actor, they really created an atmosphere in the middle of a panel.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they were really able to make me feel from looking at a video on Twitter to make me feel as if I was already there experiencing that, that already pulled me in.
Yeah.
Then hearing that the design team behind Blood Moon and Dead Man's Pier are behind this one. That
Yeah.
was the second thing that pulled
That
me in.
got me.
Man.
That got me. That
Yeah,
got me,
I
man.
when I found that out, I said, "Oh, don't worry about it. I'll be going through there more than once."
Yeah. Yeah. Like I really want to know. I really want to know. Um, besides what happened at I keep on forgetting that con name. What was it?
Spooky Empire.
What happened at Spooky Empire? Besides them bringing you in, besides bringing all of us in with, uh, the story within the story. I want to know what other uh, what other aspects about this house really pulled you into saying, yeah, this is gonna be one of the ones.
For me, I think with this one is it screams creativity. I don't think that there is a true story. I'm sure that they got inspiration from somewhere, but the
Yeah,
story and what this is supposed to portray just seems to me that the creative team really had to sit down and think outside the box and also stay within the margins of Hispanic horror. And so them putting that together and just it having that old style feel to it, I just feel that it is very atmospheric. I think that the detail is going to be great. And so for me, that's really what pulled me into this house. And then also hearing, because we haven't seen this facade in a construction update, I don't think.
that's true. I
But
haven't
I
seen anything.
but we've heard that it is like apparently huge. It's up to the ceiling.
Wow.
So not only that, are they trying to really push the storyline? They're really trying to make you feel like you're there. So
Hmm.
when you walk into that soundstage, you are no longer at Universal. You are really in this story. So for me, that's why El Artista got my number one, man. I'm also, especially when it comes to Orlando, I'm always such a sucker for the originals. So
Yep.
hey man, El Artista, that's my number one pick. So round one, just to recap, we have El Artista versus the horrors of the Wyatt Six. You ready to move on to round two?
Let's do it. Round two.
Let's do it. Round two. So my first pick for round two was Gawkin Monsters of the North versus Craig's pick, El Artista. Yo, I
See now I see where this list is going
you see
because
where this list is going? You see where it's going.
because spoiler alert, round three is gonna be Gawkin for me. So
See, the reason is, and I kind of want to know what I know why the YS6 is your number one, but what put Artista at number two for you and put it above your number three since you already said it was your number three?
so what put LRT at number two was it was essentially like if the horrors of the Wyatt Six wasn't there, our round one and two would literally be the same.
Yeah,
So that just goes to show you how big of a Bray Wyatt Six, and wrestling fan that I am.
right.
Um, to put the horrors of the Wyatt Six at number one, and just my excitement level, and because of I know how much of a really popular house it was going to be, and how people was talking about it's going to be such an underrated house. It was going to be that's the sleeper house of the year. And I really think that
Mm-hmm.
even if you're not a wrestling fan, it's going to expose everybody to WWE and the YS6 as a whole. Just to it's already going to bring wrestling fans because Orlando is a hotbed. It's honestly um, it's honestly where it's honestly a second home for WWE because the performance center is down there. A lot of wrestlers live in Orlando and in Florida in general. That's where NXT is taped. A lot of again a lot of superstars live down there, and they go to HHN. Regardless of if there's a WWE house there or not, they come every year. And I literally caught one to two stars there, took a picture with them, talked it up with them, and so
Yeah,
I really think there's going to be like a really big, um, there's going to be like a really big almost like a really big wrestling party that's gonna, transpire because it's gonna, especially now that there's a WWE house now, there's
right.
gonna be there's gonna be more of the wrestling following there, and the merch. If you guys don't know,
The merch is hard. That
the
merch
merch
is
is the
hard.
merch is dope, and it's so like the first round of merch has completely sold out, and
Yeah,
they that and Five Nights at Freddy's, they literally just came out with more merch, actually more new merch, and you know that
you got to be
um
ready.
that merch is making the rounds and is getting its sales with that too. So I mean, there's going to be more merch obviously when HHN rolls around, but I know with the first original shirts, you're not even going to find them in Hollywood Five and Dime anymore. You got to go all the way to Islands and go to All Hallows Eve to get them. And so they're not gonna have the shirts till the tribute store opens. So if you don't find them at Five and Dime, again, go to All Hallows Eve boutique. But
Yep.
back to round two.
Yeah.
Again, if it wasn't for the Hordes of the White States, we would have the same one and two being El Artista and Galkin. But El Artista being number two is literally picking up back off what you said earlier. El
Yeah.
Artista really put really put me in with Spooky Empire, um, like the story and how they had the actual actor up there reenacting the story and how it's gonna go, and just like the vibe of the official cover art, like, and the description of the
Yeah.
house being that a troubled artist goes to this takes over this manor and their spirits in there trying to like you know possess him and everything like that's like oh like the that being an original concept and all the hype going around it and the fact that the same person that did Blood Moon and Dead Man's Pier, two houses that I love exponentially.
That's right. Like,
That was like a hands down. That's
I'm
like,
telling
yeah,
you,
that's
when I found that
and
out, I was like, I don't need to know anything else.
literally and this house is. I just feel like when we see this facade, bro, I think they're keeping this facade hidden for a reason. They want that wow factor. When you walk up in there, they're just gonna engulf us into that environment. We just gonna be.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. It's gonna be like, man, this reminds me of Blood Moon and Dead Man's Pier.
Oh, dude.
I
Exactly.
I feel like because Blood Moon and Dead Man's Pier had me the exact same way. I was floored by the
Bro,
environment and the
especially Dead
facade.
Man's Pier. That
Literally,
just I can relive that in my mind all
I'm
the
literally
time.
reliving it.
It
I'm
was
reliving it
that
right now.
good. It
Yeah.
was that good.
It was that good, man. So beautiful, so stunning. I think this, and you know what? You know what though? I think this house is gonna encapsulate them both, and it's gonna like further push the
It will.
boundary.
It will. I think that this house is 1000% in the hands of the right creative team.
Yep.
I don't think that if they gave it to another sort of creative team, I'm sure they could have come up with something. But there's something special about original concepts in that squad.
Yep.
They just know how to do it. So, I mean, for
So what
me,
you,
man,
what you think about Galkin, man?
see what I really wanted to do with this episode was really show to everybody that this is the first time in a long time that we've had a lineup this stacked on both coasts where we really can't look at anything and just be like, oh, that's going to be trash.
Yep.
I can't pick
None of
one.
them
I
are.
can't pick one thing.
Yep. You
So
can't.
for me, Monsters of the North, the year that Universal did Campground Kills,
Yeti. That was 2023.
2023, yeah. So I went to Hollywood. I didn't make it to Orlando 2023. So I was not able to experience Campground Kills. But after hearing the positive review that Campground Kills got, it made me pretty excited for this one because we love a winter house.
It was dope, man. The monsters were huge,
I
bro.
bet. I bet. And so that's kind of what I'm expecting. I'm really just expecting larger than life with this house. A play on the Ice Age, a play on just brutal winters and like really showing the horrors of what it would out in the middle of a forest in the wintertime with no help, no nothing. Like you never know what it could really come down to. But also I want to talk about the artwork for this house. The artwork really pulled this to being high up on my list because the characters look very anime-esque. It looks very experimental, but it looks intense. And that's what I like about it, is that the intense factor is still there. So that's what's got Monsters of the North at number 2 for me.
Solid. Very solid.
Solid. So moving on to round three. Now this one is interesting. Y'all already know Craig's round three.
Yep.
So now we can get your thoughts on Monsters of the North. But my three spot is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh, okay. All
I'm going with
right.
the IP for the three spot, man. And I don't know. I think what I like about Five Nights at Freddy's is it's just fun.
Mm.
Like it's scary. There's a definite darkness to it for sure. But there's just something about it that it's just kind of fun. It's an ode to arcades and stuff, things that you used to do like during your childhood. I'm just very excited about the detail. They don't even have to scare me. I'm just really excited about going through that iconic establishment that we know, Fazbear's Pizza, right? Like, I'm just excited about the atmosphere that they'll create with that, and I just want to see all of it come to life. So that's really what I'm excited about. This one is up at number three specifically because of the detail, and I hope that we get some like 1980s style, like extreme greasy ass pizza. So,
just the just the greasy pizza, bro.
man, for real. So yeah, FNAF at round three for me, man.
So with Galkin, I'm really getting, like you said before, I'm picking back up what you said with Yeti. I'm getting that outdoor winter vibe with that, along with what Dead Man's Pier gave, because that gave kind of like a wintry rainstorm vibe to it.
Yeah,
And it's given, and I love, like, y'all know me, I love a good outdoor house. I love an outdoor house. Like the houses that really, you know, um, the houses that really spoke to me,
yeah,
and um, that like I could um I could like really vibe with our outdoor houses, like Blood Moon and Dead Man's Pier, and
yeah,
um Universal Monsters um with Jekyll and Hyde and the Invisible Man, like that took place in London. It was when we went in the house, it was raining. It took place outside.
yep,
Those type of houses, I could really like that, drop you in that environment before you even enter in.
right,
Like that just does something to me, man. Because I love me an environmental escape, and that eventually draws me in. And so when Galkin was announced, I was like, okay, we're getting like a little winter house, and from what the description is saying, from what the cover art, um, how the cover art was placed in front of us, um, it gave me like I was telling Nick one day that when it was the day that it was announced, it reminded me like of a Game of Thrones vibe, um,
yeah,
in terms of like in terms of like what century is like dropping you in. And then because in Game of Thrones they got weird crazy monsters and dragons everywhere.
right,
So that's what it really, and I love Game of Thrones, and that's what really like drew me into Gawkin even more, because it reminds me of something that I know and love. And the fact that it's going to be like, you know a horror themed house, not officially a Game of Thrones horror themed house, but it's gonna have different like aspects of it brought into this, along with the horror element turned up to 11. Got me in.
yeah. Hey, I'm definitely excited about it, man. So that round three caps off Five Nights at Freddy's versus Gawking Monsters of the North. Now, this next round, I want to know everybody's thoughts, and I feel like I know which way people will swing, but let us know what you think about this. Round four is Jason Universe versus Terrifier. I picked Jason Universe for number four. Craig picked Terrifier for number four. Craig, go ahead. You can start it off.
So, you know, I'm not the I'm not the biggest Terrifier fan in the world. Um, I have I haven't finished all the movies. That's just part of my homework. That and Fallout. But when it comes to Terrifier and the type of cult following it has and the amount of hype it has around it and the description of the house that has come forth, this is like an undisputed favorite
Yeah.
among everyone because um I was watching this uh, I was watching someone else's hype list. I can't forget the guy's name on YouTube, but I was watching his hype list, and you know what he said about Terrifiers rings true. Like Art the Clown is like the modern day slasher king. He's what
Yeah.
he's what Jason was in the '90s, what Freddy was in the '80s to late
Yeah.
night to early '90s, and um, he's what Leatherface and Texas Chainsaw was in the '70s, and so on and so forth. He's just the modern day. He's just the modern, and then what Michael Myers was in the late '90s and 2000s.
Right.
It's like for every single decade there was a slasher king, and Art fits the bill. You like when we went to Horror Hound in Cincinnati,
Yeah.
you would have thought it was a Terrifier convention by the
Yeah.
by
Art
the
was everywhere.
he literally like
Art was definitely everywhere.
Terrifier shirts everywhere you look because Damien Leone and the actors of the Terrifier franchise were there taking pictures, signing autographs. You would have thought it was a Terrifier convention because they took over everything.
Yeah.
And so, you know, that coupled with the hype of it's going to be the most glorious, brutal house in HHN history, and
Yeah.
how the normal pumps of water that's like at 10-20%, they're turned up to 100.
Yeah.
There's going to be a dry and wet path.
Like
This is
please,
crazy.
please have a poncho.
Like, please have a poncho. Like,
Please have a poncho.
don't buy one for Universal that's going to cost $20. You need to go to Dollar
No.
General, Family Dollar, or somewhere
Yeah.
off property and get you a
Yeah.
poncho. And like this is gonna be insane. Like I really want to
Yeah.
see. And then Universal's working with the Terrifier team personally, so I really want to see what they can pull off and if they're gonna be really um and if they're gonna be all in and if they're gonna be very accurate with the source material, because there are some doubts a little bit that there's gonna that they're not gonna be that they're not gonna include everything or whatever, but I don't think that's the case. Excuse me, because normally when Universal swings for the fences, they don't miss.
No, they don't. They
and
are. They don't.
they rarely do. And so I think it's just based off working with the team alone, the Terrifier team alone, that it's gonna be a banger house. It's not gonna be for everyone, obviously, but
Yeah.
this is gonna break new ground. And I think
This is.
I think you're gonna see a trend of these type of houses moving forward. So
Yeah. It is truthfully being marketed and probably will be the enter if you dare. Like
this this this
it'll
will
be that.
be this will be the type of house that will bring the sickos to HHN.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Right.
But
All
what you
right,
think
man.
about Jason Universe, man? Talk to me.
So with Jason Universe, I just think it's so cool to see HHN really going back and grabbing these slashers that people have been asking for a long time. People know that this is not Jason's first appearance at the event, but this is the first time since 2007, if I'm not wrong. They did Freddy versus Jason back then, maybe, or I think that's what it
Yep.
was. But
That was at 25.
Yeah. So 2007 was the last time. And you just got to think about how many people have
Oh,
truly been
2007, yeah.
asking for slasher pioneers to come back.
Well, the last Jason specific house, yes, was 2007, was the Carnival Carnage 17,
Okay, so was that
but
okay? Yeah,
25 was Freddy versus Jason. So you're
Freddy
right.
versus Jason. Okay, so like that's what makes me excited. It's just this one's gonna feel nostalgic, and I know it's a universe type of thing, so there might be some odes to the new stuff that's coming out and things like that. But just having a classic slasher being there, it's like you said with Terrifier, we've got the current slasher, and then we've got one that everybody grew up on there as well. So it's also going to captivate two different audiences. So for me, that's kind of what pulled Jason Universe to the fourth spot. I'm very excited for it. I just can't wait to go see it.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to check it out. Now, round five, if you can't kind of see a pattern going on here with Craig and I's picks, round five features one of these two houses again. And my pick has changed.
Hmm.
And my round five is
Oh,
Dolls. Let's
interesting.
Play Dead versus Jason
Interesting.
Universe.
This is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of like a. This is kind of like the part of the video where it's segueing.
Right.
So
We're
I'm
we're we're transitioning in
we're
the same
transitioning for sure.
way.
But
Hey
I
man.
honestly I want to see why you said Dolls Let's Play Dead and why you got it so high on your hype list. I really
Okay.
want to see.
So I have it high because I have a lot of expectations for it. I
Mm,
think my expectations are really high for this house. Now, as an HHN fan, after reading the description about it when it was announced and things like that, a lot of people when they hear this will probably question why it's so high like you did. I think that just dolls in general, look at what's going on right now with like Annabelle and all that shit. Like dolls are actually terrifying. If there were dolls all over this room that I'm sitting in right now, I would not be sleeping in here.
right.
Like this house really does have the potential to be very scary. Now, at the same time, I do feel that it also has the potential to go the comedy route.
Mm-hmm.
But if they definitely hone in on what creepy dolls are known for, very soulless, very just like dry. You know what I'm saying? Like if they go with that, then this could really be pulled off. I'm hoping for like an old Victorian style of theme,
Mm-hmm.
like that kind of thing. So maybe it's a theme and that has it right there at the middle of the pack for me, but
Yeah.
definitely still excited about Dolls Let's Play Dead. So that's where I'm sitting at with that one.
Okay. All right. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
just a little something.
I honestly like in terms of Dolls Let's Play Dead. There is an expectation because I loved uh, puppet theater captive audience a few years ago. So
Yeah.
I kind of have that same hype with this. But although I don't have it this high, I do have the same expectation for that in terms of yeah. But with Jason Universe, I'm a sucker for nostalgia, man. Like the
It's
fact
a
that
nostalgia thing.
it's honestly like I will always I will always be feeling the type of way that I wasn't able to attend HHN 17 in 2007, the Carnival of Carnage,
God, bro, if
when
I
they
could have gone
had
to the Carnival of Carnage, oh my God.
man, when they had the lineup was so stacked. Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, they all had their own houses. Jack the Clown was the ringmaster. Man, I will
Yep.
forever be sick about not attending that. Like if I had a time machine and I was able to go back, I would. So
So
that's what
this is kind of like a chance to get it right for you.
this is. Yeah, literally, this is redemption for me because it's like, you know, again, I'm a sucker for nostalgia, and I love Jason Voorhees, you know, and then the fact that they're having this new twist on it, the essentially the new uh Jason model in terms of the character is going to be like a new hockey mask, new get up, new everything,
Right.
and although it's gonna have it, and it's gonna have the homage to different kills and everything like that, and different moments within the series, past and present. Uh, Another new detail that I've heard about this house is that the first half is gonna be just straight jump scare, intense heavy, and the second half is gonna be brutal and in your face. And so that's another thing that got me hyped about this house. And also, they want you to feel just like those camp counselors, because they want every single Jason figure to hover over you. So I really want to know how they're gonna pull that off. But besides getting people that's like, because not everybody is built like Jason, so I really want to know how they're
Right.
gonna pull that off. So,
Probably like some really large puppets and things like that. I feel they could probably push with that.
but I know they're not just gonna have you know big guys playing Jason. They're gonna maybe catch us off guard with different kind of with different ways of pulling that off, like you said. But
Right.
either way, I'm excited for Jason Universe, and um, seeing the facade, and we haven't really seen the facades in Hollywood. I mean, not in Hollywood, but in Orlando, because that's gonna be in the soundstage. But for what I'm seeing in Hollywood,
Which
from what I'm seeing in Hollywood, man,
because
that facade looks dope, and they're gonna be in the spot where Dead Exposure was last year. So,
okay, all right, okay. So
so
that's a
hey,
lower lighthouse. All
yep,
right,
that's the
cool,
Lower House. So I'm
perfect.
excited. I'm excited for it, but Orlando. I know that Orlando's gonna take it because again, soundstage can't go wrong with a soundstage. That
Yeah, bro, I can't argue a soundstage.
something about a
Not
soundstage, man.
well, there you have it, y'all. That is round five, right at the middle of the pack. I have Dolls Let's Play Dead versus Craig's pick of Jason Universe. Moving on to round six. Now we've got Terrifier versus Five Nights at Freddy's. So I am not the biggest Terrifier fan. I don't have a problem with it. I completely agree with everything that you said, Craig. I think this one falls right around six just because I couldn't really put it higher than the other ones that I had
Literally.
picked. I'm still excited for this house for sure. And I think that the Terrifier fans will show up in droves to support it. I'm
Oh
very
yeah.
excited about it. Um, it just couldn't go any higher. That's just kind of where it was for me. So definitely excited for it, but it definitely is holding down the sixth spot on my list.
Um, in terms of Five Nights at Freddy's, um, there were just simply other houses that had more hype than it. Not to say that I'm not excited for Five Nights at Freddy's. Don't get me wrong, I am. The
Yeah.
way that they're gonna encapsulate you in that environment, and the way that uh, the team said that there's gonna be these huge animatronics and these huge puppets that are made by the Jim Henson Company, and how they're gonna just drop you in the environment as usual, and you're gonna see all the famous locations from the series. The uh, you're gonna see the atrium. You're gonna see the security office. There's gonna be a part from the movie where the guy gets his face taken from the animatronic figure. Like
Yeah.
I'm honestly really excited. It's just that the this spot where I put Five Nights at Freddy's at, there's just the previous five houses just got me more excited. There are more. They got my excitement. They grabbed me by the type of excitement level that I've had with those. more a little bit more than Five Nights at Freddy's. But again, not to say that Five Nights at Freddy's won't be good, and I'm not excited for that. But it's just that those previously mentioned five houses have my excitement more.
Yep. I totally agree. I feel like that was just kind of the vibe of that round right there.
That's
They just
really
didn't go any higher.
it's nothing bad at all.
So there you have it. Round six was my pick of Terrifier versus Craig's pick of Five Nights at Freddy's. Moving on to round seven. We'll run through this one really quick because we got a tie game here. We have Grave of Flesh coming in seventh place, and it is a tie. Craig and I both picked this for the seventh spot. For me, very excited about all the originals.
Hmm.
But Dolls, Galkin, and El Artista just kind of have the upper edge to me on
Yep.
Grave of Flesh. Nothing wrong with Grave of Flesh. Love the property behind it. But I think that those three originals that I mentioned earlier are just going to deliver a bit more of a punch for me personally. So that's why Grave of Flesh is coming in at number seven.
I have the same preference when it comes to Graven Flesh at this spot. LRTs and Gall can have me.
Yep.
They have me hooked. I'm not
Right.
even gonna lie here. So
Yeah.
no no bones about it. But Graven Flesh definitely has piqued my interest after going through graveyard games. Um,
Hmm.
and seeing what that brought. It's like a new twist into an old classic because it's real. It's like I wouldn't know who would vandalize a whole graveyard like that, but hey. but
Right.
but Grave of Flesh is kind of like it's almost like it almost takes the spin of what happens when you die because you're dead. When you go through this house and you're transitioning and all these monsters trying to take your soul and everything. So, you know, this was like more like to me, this is more like an essentially simple concept, which didn't
Yeah, it's
which
pretty
didn't
simple.
really it wasn't like it didn't grab me by the horn. It didn't grab me like uh like LRT and Galkin does. It doesn't give like it's intriguing enough, but the concept is just like it's just simple to
Right.
follow. Not to
No.
say that it's gonna be a bad house, but it's just the concept is more simple. While LRT and Galkin more so grab me in because it's something we haven't seen before. So
Right. Yep. Nope. I totally agree. Well, that was round seven with a tie for Grave of Flesh between Craig and I, both coming in at the seventh spot, Grave of Flesh. Moving on to round eight, I now have the Horrors of the Wyatt Six versus Craig's pick of Hatchet and Chains. Yo, I don't know much about wrestling. I know enough to keep up, but I feel that this house is going to hit so much harder for those of you who, like Craig, have been with wrestling the whole time. Like you all are diehard wrestling fans, you all are passionate about it. Like I just feel like this house is for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like this is one of those. If you don't know, if you're like me, I'm getting educated on it. But if you don't know, then for me, it's not going to hit as hard because I just don't know it. So I'm definitely going into it with an open mind and I'm learning more. And maybe when we come back and do the recap after going to the event and we do our ranking after going through everything, because all of this could change
yeah,
depending on, how these houses roll. So I'm very excited for it. I'm just still being educated on it and being educated on the lore behind them and the impact that it had on wrestling and everything like that. But I do want to say, how cool is it that the Horrors of the YS6 is going to pull so many WWE fans into our world of HHN? That's
hmm
just pretty tight. So I'm
the
excited.
crossover is gonna be crazy. So
Yep. Yep. So that's my pick. The Horrors of YS6 at the eighth spot.
um, with Hatchet and Chains, you know, um, if you guys don't know, That's one of the quote unquote movies that got pulled from Slaughter Cinema 2. I'm kind of upset that, the the New Orleans voodoo movie didn't get picked. I'm still sick for that.
Bruh.
I am sick because that was a house
Oh.
waiting to happen, bro. Like, and I know how you feel about that, bro. We still sick about that. But Hatchet and Chains being the Slaughter Cinema, one of the Slaughter Cinema movies to be pulled, is very interesting because out of all the movies that were picked, this was honestly not my favorite one.
To be honest with you,
Not the favorite segment of mine.
yeah.
So when they chose this, I was like, okay. So they must really have faith in Hatchet and Chains. That's all I can take from it. But
Right.
I love I like a Western theme.
Same.
I can't lie. I want to see how they pull this off because again, that wasn't my favorite segment in Slaughter Cinema 2, but I really want to know how they're gonna pull that concept into a house. So
Right.
that's just how I feel about Hatchet and Chains there.
Hey, and
It's
that's
just
and that's all good.
it's just the uncertainty factor there.
There's an uncertainty factor there, yeah. Well, that was round 8, the Horrors of the YS6 for me versus Craig's pick of Hatchet and Chains. Round 9 puts us right back in the Wild Wild West with Hatchet and Chains because that was my pick for round 9 versus Craig's pick of Dolls Let's Play Dead. It's pretty simple for me with Hatchet and Chains. It should have been Mardi Gras Murderers.
See,
It should have been Mardi Gras Murderers. I don't know what
it's simple, man.
I'm excited about it because of that Western theme, but you can't start Slaughter Cinema 2 off of Mardi Gras Murderers, and there is a legit jester trying to attack me in the first room. That shit was off the charts, man. Like
like
I
it
know
literally
y'all
brought
know.
it literally
Right.
brought the energy. It set the tone for the house.
Exactly. And like y'all know I love Mardi Gras and voodoo and Bayou culture and everything. That's my thing. I love that. But taking my passion for those things out, I just think Mardi Gras Murderers just really set the tone. Like I had to go back and watch Slaughter Cinema 2 a few times so that I could really get familiar with Hatchet and Chains again. Hatchet and Chains again, like that little section of the house. Definitely not bad. I'm definitely excited about it. It's just kind of hard for me to get past how dope that first scene was and why that one didn't make it. So
Yeah, that definitely. Now I'm definitely gonna go back and watch Slaughter Cinema 2 again to get familiar myself.
yeah,
But
exactly.
when it comes to Dolls Let's Play Dead, again, like I really hope it lives up to Puppet Theater Captive Audience because that house was really good. But I have a feeling there's this feeling at the back of my head that
I
I
know that
cannot
feeling.
that I cannot deny.
I
I
know that
feel
feeling.
I feel like it's gonna be just like Chucky a few years ago. That's why I have it this low. Because
I
I'm
hope.
like, if it ends up being like Chucky, I will be disappointed.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I got it this low. Because I'm like, it has like a lot of people actually are pretty intrigued and excited about Dolls Let's Play Dead, but will it overcome the stank of Chucky from a few years ago? Because now that type of house has a little stank to it. They're like, doll, let's play Dead. Like, really? Like after Chucky, y'all doing another doll house? Like, what y'all, you're on a
Yeah.
little on the fence about it a little bit. We gonna see. We
Yeah.
gonna see.
We'll see.
They could
We'll
prove me
see.
wrong.
I definitely understand that feeling. That's how I felt about Major Sweets, and in my opinion, I was proven right. Oh God, I don't, That was round 9, man. Hatchet and Chains versus Dolls. Let's Play Dead. Craig had Dolls. I had Hatchet and Chains. Now round 10 is another tie game, and this is the final house of the battle, and that is Fallout.
Dang.
Fallout is a tie game.
That's
I
just
gotta
that's
be
just like me. That's just being an unknown, and it's another one of Universal's way of trying to integrate. They're in this sort of like a few years ago when Universal was in that streaming phase of HHN when they had those consecutive years of The Walking Dead, and then here comes Stranger Things, and now here comes the horror video games. Here comes Last of Us. Here comes Fallout. Here comes um, all these different video game franchises, and this this one's interesting because
yeah,
it's not based off the game. It's based off the show on Amazon Prime,
right.
and so this kind of like confused me because I'm like, well, given how successful the Last of Us show was that year that it came to HHN, why wasn't it based off the show? That's your guess is as good as mine. But for this to be an unknown, and for me not to know anything about Fallout, and given the hype off the previous houses that we mentioned, this is why it's so low. I don't really have high expectations for this because I don't know nothing about it.
Yeah, I'm either. I don't know anything about it, and so I'm not gonna necessarily, because I don't know anything about it, say anything bad about it. But to me, and this is just kind of like what I said when we did the panel at GhouliCon, this just feels like The Last of Us to me. Like for somebody like me whom I don't watch a whole lot of Netflix series and I don't really keep up with a lot of things like that. For me personally, this is just kind of Universal being experimental with shit that in my opinion doesn't need to be a haunted house. I think that I don't know. I'm not saying it will be bad because, like we said, there's nothing in this lineup that we can look at and be like, oh, this will be bad. Even though I don't know anything about Fallout and I'm not educated on it, I'm still not saying that it's going to be terrible. And I'm definitely excited to see it. And I will do my homework and make sure I watch before, going to experience it. But
Mm-hmm.
I just really don't. I don't know anything about Fallout, and knowing what I know about all the other properties, it just kind of fell right here at the 10 spot for me. So that
Yeah.
was round 10, another tie game within the battle. Fallout is tied for 10th place. Now let's move out into the middle of the park. We got a few more rounds left before we close it out. Let's run through these scare zones real fast, man. The first one we have Origins of Horror versus the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. Craig, if I'm not wrong, Cat Lady was your pick, and
Yes,
I
it
have the
was.
Origins of Horror here. So here's my thing with the Origins of Horror. I'm just glad that the HHN creative team have really put something together with these scare zones that's going to push the gothic theme that they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
Origins of Horror just feels like old school European horror. It gives me vibes that we might seeing remnants of Monsters Unchained at Epic. Maybe not with those actual universal monsters, but just that aesthetic. So I'm really excited about that for that reason. So that's why Origins of Horror is coming in first for me within the scare zone round.
Um, with Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, I'm a sucker for again the nostalgia factor of what this is gonna bring because this just brings me back to my childhood of
Yeah.
going trick or treating and then stumbling upon a like an old rugged house, exploring, trying to see if there's any ghosts or something in there, some
Yeah.
creepy stuff. It's a classic tale. It's a classic tale. You can't go wrong with that. And the detail that they're bringing, from what I've seen, is they're gonna bring it with this. this scare zone just screams nostalgia, and I just can't wait for
Please.
it, man.
Like seeing all the construction updates of what it looks like. It looks awesome during the day. So I
And
agree.
they're gonna push it out towards the kids zones circle. They're pushing it out. They're fleshing it out even more. So
Okay.
the fact that they're doing that, they're extending the scare zone. That's gonna bring it, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, there you have it, guys. Round 11 and also round one of the Scare Zone category. We have Origins of Horror versus Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. Moving on to round two, we got another tie game. We have Toxic 20s tied for the second spot in the Scare Zone category. For me, I just think the storyline's cool, and I'm glad that they're doing it in New York, which, Craig, you brought that to my attention on the last episode,
Yep.
that this is going to be in New York. So Roaring Twenties, New York, and chaos going on. I mean, it just kind of encapsulates that area right there, and
And
I'm very excited.
don't forget it is a um a storyline within Bugs Eating Alive because the same company BuzzCon created that Bugs Eating Alive storyline, and so it's kind of crossing over with you know Toxic 20s because the mobsters crash into the BuzzCon truck and the toxic waste spilled it where everybody's mutated. So
Yeah,
there you go.
I'm excited, and I think that's so cool that they put in a little tip of the hat to Bugs Eating Alive and really tying it. I just love how they will go back and do that tie old houses back into the current day. You know,
Like everything's a storyline. Everything
right.
ties to each other.
Like Bugs was not necessarily my favorite house, but I do think it's so cool that they figured out how to reconnect that. So that's the 12 spot, man, and the second round for the Scare Zone category. Toxic 20s tied for second place. Moving on to the second to last round, I have in my three spot Masquerade Dance with Death versus Craig's pick of Origins of Horror. Hey man, for me, Masquerade Dance with Death just seems like vamp on steroids and vampires everywhere, and I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. It just seems like nostalgia with a good time, and I'm just excited to be in that atmosphere.
Um, Origins of Horror. I I have a feeling that this is gonna be a sleeper. Um, if they if I think what they're if they do what I think they're gonna do with this scare zone, it's gonna be up there by the time we get finished with HHN because Origins that's like tying everything from the beginning of HHN till now. So
Right,
like I said, if they do what I think if I do what I think they're doing, then hey, it's gonna be one of them ones. So I'm excited.
right. Hey, there it is. So that's round 13 in the three spot Masquerade Dance of Death versus Origins of Horror. Now coming up on this round, I have Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, and you have Masquerade Dance of Death. For me, the only reason that this is in last place was more of just like what I said earlier. There was just a couple on here that I couldn't put at last. I'm cool. I'm so down for Cat Lady of Cricket Lane. The nostalgia, literally everything you said, Craig, my exact thoughts about that zone. So I just, it was kind of hard to place it. This is just kind of where it got placed.
Yeah, same thing with Masquerade. All the other scare zone intrigued me more. Not to say that Masquerade doesn't, but um, I never really thought like what you said of like when you said it would remind you of Vamp 69 turned up to 11. I never really thought of it that way. So hey, we'll
Yeah.
see what goes down. But you know, I know there's definitely going to be vampires everywhere, and based off the construction updates that I've seen, they're putting a lot of detail into this,
Yeah,
and it's going to take place in the Hollywood land section of the park where they have a lot of real estate. So that
yeah,
tells me that they're really going to bring it with the scare zone. So hey, I'm
excited.
yeah.
This is gonna be cool, man.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, there you have it. That is our hype list for HHN34 Orlando. Um, like we said, guys, this is one of those where the lineup is literally not bad from beginning to end. Please do not think that we were shitting on Fallout in any way. We weren't. We just don't know much about it, but we're still excited to check it out. The next episode will be the Hollywood battle, so definitely get ready for that because I'm very excited for that
Oh yeah, I am.
one. We don't have any updates from Horror Nights as of right now. Nothing from Not Scary Farm. That lineup is coming soon, so that episode will be coming soon. We're just waiting on that lineup to be finalized so that we can really talk about it. Hallow Scream. Haven't really heard much from Hallow Scream. I think Tampa might have announced something, but we'll check in on that. And if we need to get some information out to y'all, we definitely will. Craig, you got anything?
um, in terms of construction updates, there's not really any updates with HHN in general. There's not really any updates. Just it's just construction's wrapping up. They're getting ready for the event. In let's see, 2 3 weeks, it's on. They're
Two,
just
three
they're
weeks.
just
Come on, man.
the finishing touches are being put together, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
So at this point is the we're playing the waiting game. We ready
Right.
now. We in the end
Yep.
game.
And we're
So
so excited to get down there, man.
we
To see
are
that, to see that carpet at MCO. That's where
that
we are.
carpet. Yeah, we are in that carpet. The smell of that carpet.
Man, right. Well, we seriously appreciate you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, share to anybody you know who's looking for a new HHM podcast to listen to. We love to have new fans coming on and checking us out, man. The Hollywood episode
Spread
is
the word.
next.
Spread
Yep.
the word.
Spread it, spread it, spread it. We're really trying to create a family over here. We hope that you all feel that through our episodes, man. We really appreciate you guys. So definitely stay tuned for the Hollywood episode. It's coming soon. Stay tuned for the Not Scary Farm episode. I'm so excited for that shit too. So
Oh yeah.
definitely stay tuned. And Craig, if you don't have anything else, we can close it out.
Yeah. That's we haven't really heard anything in terms of like the food and drink options just yet, but I think they're gonna drop that when we're like a week out.
Yeah.
So
The
be
boosts
sure
are
to
up. We just don't know what's
yep,
gonna be
just
sold.
just stay tuned, man. That's all I can
Yeah.
say.
All right, cool, man. Well, this has been another episode of Dead Man's Mike Podcast. My name is Nick,
Name's Craig, man.
and we will see you all soon.